You know that person who's calm in a crisis? The one everyone calls when things fall apart because they just handle it? The person who laughs at things that would send most people spiraling, who finds humor in the darkness, who seems unshakable. Yeah, they've been through some things. Not bad haircut in middle school things, the kind that fundamentally rewires how you see the world. And psychology says their brain doesn't just survive trauma, it transforms. Here's what happens when you've endured too much. You develop what psychologists call hyper-empathy. You can spot pain in others from across a room. A slight shift in someone's tone, you caught it. That forced smile. You're already planning how to check in later without making it weird. You read silence, not just the absence of words, but the texture of it. Disappointed silence, irritated silence, grief silence. You know them all, because you learned that language the hard way. You had to survive. Most people walk into a room and see furniture. You walk in and sense emotional temperature. But here's the paradox that confuses everyone. You'd think someone who's been through hell would be bitter, right? Cynical, closed off. But it's often the complete opposite. You're the most empathetic person in the room. You give second chances. You understand that people are complex, that hurt people, that someone cutting you off in traffic might be rushing to the hospital. Because when you've survived your own storms, other people's rain showers just hit different. But there's a cost. You're hyper-vigilant. Your threat detection never fully turns off. You sit facing the door. You have 17 backup plans for coffee. Your nervous system learned the hard way that safety is temporary. And here's the part nobody talks about. There's a grief underneath all of this that's hard to name. You don't just grieve what happened. You grieve who you were before. The version of you who trusted easily, who laughed without checking the room first, who didn't rehearse every conversation 3 times before having it. You grieve the lightness you used to have, the version who didn't carry this weight, who didn't flinch at loud noises, who could relax without waiting for the other shoe to drop. How do you explain that you're homesick for a version of yourself you barely remember, for a safety you never really had? That grief doesn't break you, but it changes you, permanently. But here's what's remarkable about people who've gone through too much. Their survival became insight, their pain became compassion, their scars became a map for others still lost in the dark. You didn't just survive, you developed an understanding of human suffering that most people will never have. You know that strength isn't about never falling apart, it's about how many times you can put yourself back together, even when the pieces don't fit the same way anymore. And without even noticing, you became something rare, a lighthouse, not because your life was gentle, but because you learned to navigate storms that would have destroyed others. A lighthouse doesn't shine because it's perfect. It shines because it remembers the darkness. If you've been through too much, you're not broken. Your nervous system adapted. You learned to survive when most people would have given up. Every boundary you set, every moment of unexpected depth, every time you handle a crisis while everyone else panics, you earned that. You've gone through too much, and somehow you're still here, still trying, still finding reasons to hope. That's not just survival, that's profound human resilience. And the world needs more people who understand both the darkness and the light.